Hello and welcome to Budapest on this Wizz Air flight, which you'll see we are heading down to Lisbon in Portugal. This is a flight request from Hesh 9, so it's not one of my regular Wizz Air flights, but however we are using Wizz Air departing from Budapest. Flight time in the region of 3 hours 40 and cruising today at 36,000 feet, so it's a bit of a lengthy one, so let's get ourselves underway, shall we? In this Airbus A320 aircraft, of course. So, battery, APU master switch, and APU start. Departing from 31 left. So let's get the fuel on board. Be quite a heavy load today because we're flying a fair old distance. So we will need 1284 kilos. Load that on. Cool tug. Let's get that in position already. So yeah, a bit of an overcast evening here in Budapest. We are departing at around about 6:30 local time. Expected arrival in Lisbon will be 9:20 in the evening. Let's brighten those up a little bit. No, don't need that. Might do later, but it won't for now. Stick with what we need. Lisbon, of course, now has got photogrammetry, so that will be good to see. We're expecting runway 21. That would have liked runway 3. But we'll get runway 21. That would be all right. So runway 3 brings us in over the seaward side. So let's just get all this flaps. Probe window heat, APU bleed. Let's just flip that over. QNH. APU bleed. It is those selected. So I've got quite a few flight requests to get through. I've got another one to Lisbon from Eindhoven, KLM. So we'll be seeing quite a bit of Lisbon, although that flight is due to arrive in daylight hours. Auto. Intercept FMC program. So let's get the FMC programs up. We have to do first. ASC menu, clear that out. Weight and balance. Request send. Boarding done. There we go. So LHBP to LPPT, LPPT. Cost index 7, cruising as I said at 36,360 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Okay, so flight plan LHBP. So we're departing 31 left. And we're going direct to Dimlo. Dimlo. So from 31 left, we go direct to Dimlo. This waypoint. 124 miles away, I would imagine, be the best. And then from Dimler it's direct to Tutiv. Tutiv. Just waypoint. And then from Tutiv it's M859. 859. Think about it for a bit. To Montha. Q561. Acado. M196. We're hitting the airways today. To Lagan. Q712. Speak it out loud, makes it easier for me to remember. Noba. Z185. 85. To Bordy. So that. Then from Bordy, it's Z185. Z185 again to Badba. UZ185. 185 takes us to Colon. Then from Colon it's UM984. 984 takes us into Bisba. UN975. Some point today, brilliant. BGR. Let's insert all that. We come back up to BGR. UN975. This is a monster route. It really is. It's unreal. CCS. And then UN975, and then finally to Tag. See, when it's the same airway, I could probably just skip a couple of those, to be fair. It's just the way SimBrief does it. I'll just copy it word for word, but if you want the same airway, you should be able to pretty much skip it. Targets insert, and we're arriving to an LPTT, as I said, on ILS 21. Fine, no start, insert. There we go, come back to performance page. 0.1, we'll say for argument's sake. So I don't have the numbers upside down, unfortunately. Let's do temperature 40. I think V speeds should now be able to input. There we go. Awesome, flight plan, yeah, we are good. So the flight plan's all in place. There's ILS, let's see TCAS. So okay. There's the line. Door stowers, seatbelts, no smoking, beacon light can all come on now. We're about to push back on this aircraft, so beacon light on, seatbelt on.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross check.
Fuel pumps. And we're ready to push back from our departure gate here in Budapest. There we go.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate your
A very grey Budapest today.
You can follow along with the safety information card in your seat back pocket. Please fasten your seatbelt and insert the flat metal edge into the buckle and pull on the straps tight to release the twist and top flap of the buckle. Please keep your seatbelt back a little tight across your lap when the seatbelt sign is off and have it visible to the crew at all times. Your life vest is in a pouch under your seat. If instructed by the crew, tear open the pouch, put the vest and put it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist. Secure the buckle and pull the strap tight. As you exit the aircraft, place the vest and strap firmly on the red tab. Also, you can the seats on both sides. A locator light on the shoulder will turn on automatically in weather, and remember never place the vest inside the aircraft. This Airbus A320 is an emergency exit. 2 doors in the front, 4 window exits over the wings, and 2 doors in the back. Each door is equipped with an evacuation slide that can be dragged from the entrance and used as a ramp. All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate the top of the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. The link will connect towards the start flow of oxygen.
The sun's trying to come through the clouds now, but all the same, it's still a pretty grey day here in the Hungarian capital. We're not sure what the weather is in Lisbon. Obviously, this is quite a lengthy flight, so whatever it is could easily be considerably different by the time of arrival. Ignition sector normal. AP bleed switch off. Ground spoilers armed. Auto brake max. Altitude, did I say we're cruising today? 36,000 feet. I think we better change it from 100 feet, don't you? There we go. 36,000 feet. Flaps. AP master switch. Anti-ice. I always just leave that one because I'm away from the flight during its climb, and a good part of it I just always just leave it on by default. Obviously in reality it's only used in certain situations. It saves any problems, so that's all good. Weather radar on, even though it's not functioning, just keep that in practice for the day they do actually fix it. Take off config. Okay, I think we're pretty good to roll and go. Park and break off then. So yeah, it would have been nice to have some nicer weather in Budapest, but you can't have everything, I guess. Short taxi to Ferry 1 left. I was always previous departing from Ferry 1 right, but what I do now for Budapest, to mix it up a bit, I actually look on flight radar what the current runway in use is. And I seem to be departing from Ferry 1 left and landing, I think, Ferry 1 right. So it makes sense to have both runways in operation, one for takeoff, one for landing. Although I certainly wouldn't say that Budapest is a horrendously busy airport, not in the same manner that like somewhere like Heathrow is. That's the amount of times I've flown in and out of this airport in real life, and on the simulator actually. So yeah, as I mentioned already, this is a flight request. Always feel free to drop in your flight requests, let me know the destinations, the airline, any time preference, and if you like, why that flight. I'm always interested to know, you know, why people select the places they do, if they have any connection, or they went on holiday there, or anything really. I obviously have considerable connection to Budapest, which is why I do a lot of flights from there. There we go, right. From here, should I say, as we are here, at least on the sim anyway. Okay, let's get the lights on, strobes on. Packs off for departure. I don't think we got everything else on. We got the beacon light on, and we got the strobes.
Right, sweet, prepare for takeoff.
Yeah, we can now. Oops. Time lapse, and let's depart out then, folks. There we go. Manifest. Manflex 40 SRS SB live. A little bit off that centre line. Let's bring ourselves back on, shall we? So we accelerate up to our V1 speed. There it is. Gently back. Controls. We have a positive rate of climb here. We'll go gear up. Put the autopilot on. Let's put those packs back on. I really like photogrammetry scenery of Budapest. Should be lovely one day. There we go, we continue our climb. As you can see, not much wind. Nearly 1,000. Quite a low cloud base today. Ease back on that throttle for climb thrust. There we go. Into the clouds already, of course. We can turn these lights out. There we go. I'll turn the seatbelt signs off now. Obviously, in reality, it'll be done a lot later. Have some artistic license on the simulator. Shame we're not going to get a view of Budapest, although I fly in and out of it enough that you just have to go and look at one of my other Wizz Air videos if you're desperate to see what it looks like. Today it is a bit grey and miserable. Okay, flaps. Stick the standard QNH on, and then we shall pretty much leave you with the wing view. Enjoy your flights, and we'll see you on arrival into Lisbon.
streets are freezing out before the flight. As you begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley cards shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back to the flight deck. As you can see, it's getting dark now. We are not all that far away. Get some lights on. All we need to do now, there we go. Awesome. So let's plug in our arrival data. Request. Let's send that. So yeah, it'll be a nighttime arrival into Lisbon, coming in from the northern direction. Get a weather briefing for you now. See messages. So print that out. Go to performance page. Plug in the approach data for Lisbon. QNH 1008. Temperature in Lisbon is a 15 degrees. Magnitude wind 240 at 9 knots. Interesting. I think we'll be better off landing oh no, we're coming in on runway 21. Let's say runway 3, coming in runway 21. So yeah, wind for 240 is absolutely spot on. Past my terrain, coming down to 4,000 feet. Cats, on ILS 200. Put the minimums in as that. Broken cloud, 2,800 feet. So yeah, reasonable weather really. Reasonable weather. Oops. I'm going to do that because I want the free camera training. So yeah, we will begin our descent down now. We're descending to 4,000 feet. There we go. This evening arrival into Lisbon. Descend 16, I think. There we go. Excuse me.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
So, inbound from Budapest, a long way across Europe, descending down now into Lisbon. My regular scheduled Wizz Air flights, incidentally, this of course is a flight request, my regular scheduled flights, we are off to Corfu next. And my next guest airline will be we're still in China. Previously we flew with Shenzhen from Shenzhen up to Beijing. Our next one is China Eastern flight. I can't remember the name of the places though, but yeah, we'll be flying with China Eastern when we get around to doing that flight, of course. So I'm actually going to knock that down to we can just get off lower down. So yeah, photogrammetry for Lisbon. We're going to see it at night for this arrival. I do have another flight request, as I said, in the pipeline soon, to fly from Eindhoven with KLM. I think it was Eindhoven, or was it Amsterdam? Can't remember now. I have to go on my Discord and have a look. Might have been Amsterdam actually. Hold on. Keep track of these. Let's have a look. Requests. Yeah, Amsterdam, sorry, not Eindhoven. Pretty sure there was a request for Eindhoven. There we go, Eindhoven to Vienna. That's another request. That's a nice one. Got to keep track of these. So yeah, Eindhoven to Vienna. I need to update I do try and keep a record of requested flights. But, Amsterdam to Lisbon, and that would of course, I think that's an 8:45 AM departure time. We'll be flying that one down to Lisbon. This, of course, as you can see, has been a lengthy flight. So PMDG flights have been MSFS PMDG 737 flights have been appearing on YouTube. Some of the more prominent YouTubers in the flight sim community have got their hands on the beta, and they've been showcasing that. So you will of course see the PMDG 737 on this channel. However, I'll probably wait until they release the 800 version before purchasing it. Otherwise I'm paying for an aircraft that I'm not really going to have much use for. Although that said, I really can't wait to fly it. So it'll be worth the wait. So hopefully that's not too far away now. Be nice if it arrived. Well, they already said that after the initial release the 737-800 would be at least 6 weeks away. So we're nearly into May now. So hopefully some point, let's say June, would be nice to finally get a hands on PMDG 737. And then if they could follow that up with their 777 or something, even better. And then all I really need then is the Dash 8 Q400, but still I checked the Majestic Dash forums the other day, nothing too revealing there. I don't know if any other developers have a Dash 8 Q400 in the pipeline, not as far as I'm aware. So fans of that aircraft, it's going to be a little bit of waiting yet, unfortunately. But at least we still have the excellent fly-by-wire A320 mod. Just be nice if they get V. All this plane really needs is VNav and the weather radar working, and for the most part it's fine. I mean, I can't really think too much. I mean, maybe there's some more advanced functionality in the FMC it doesn't have, I don't know, but just for, you know, sort of the basic sort of flying without sort of making it how tough it needs to be. It you know, it does the trick. So yeah. PC6 Porter on my Caribbean tour. I've started the Caribbean tour now. It's been great. First few legs through Cuba. It's been interesting. Flying, of course, predominantly the PC6 Porter, but we'll revert to the SR22 and the Islander for some of the longer, lengthier legs on the tour. 51 leg tour all around the Caribbean. Go and check it out. There's also previous tours for you to see as well. I've completed recently Congo tour. Elsewhere in Africa I've been to Madagascar. Elsewhere in the world I've been to Oman, Mongolia, Norway, so yeah, New Zealand, Australia. So where are we going after the Caribbean? I'm far from decided on that. Far from decided. I don't know. Do I stay in the Americas? Do I come back to Europe? Do I go elsewhere? I'm trying to think about the outstanding tours I've got. I know there's an Alpine tour. There's a Southern European tour, and then I think there's a French one. There's a Scottish one. There's an English, or sorry, yeah, English? Is it just English? Say, yeah, English, I think, and perhaps Welsh. Football grounds tour. Although really to appreciate that, you'd really need to download all the relevant scenery. So yeah, there's a fair few options I've got out there. I could put my own tour together. I'm not sure which country I'd choose. Somewhere like Indonesia was suggested to me as an area for flying on Discord, so Indonesia would make a great tour, especially as I've got the Porter now, because of course there's a series, World's Worst Place to Be a Pilot, that featured the Indonesian sort of regional airline, Suzy Air, which had Porters flying, and yeah. It's a good series to watch if you've not seen it, and you want to see some really outrageous airstrips on like the sides of mountains and stuff, halfway up hills, and it's just bonkers. You must have nerves of steel to fly in a region like that. Seriously, it's unreal. Go and check it out if you've never watched it. World's Worst Place to Be a Pilot. I'm not sure what you can watch. I can't remember what I watched it on now. It's a number of years ago I saw it. Something like, I'm sure you'll find it. Just look it up on Google. And yeah, just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Or you know, having the guts to fly somewhere like that, and the fact there's even blinking airstrips in these places in the first place, but obviously a vital link to some more of the you know, remote Indonesian communities, evidently bringing them, you know, crucial sort of, I guess, medical supplies and other important everyday items. But yeah, absolutely fascinating series, you know, just to see, as I say, the places, you know, these people try and fly into, and they're the kind of places that if you get the approach wrong, you get the landing wrong, where, you know, you're in a lot of trouble. So yeah, I've done a few flights in Indonesia. So yeah, a tour in that region. But Indonesia is vast because it's numerous islands. So I'd have to decide how I would tour across them. I mean, they're like a chain of islands, so it makes sense to go from one side to the other, right? But yeah, trying to pick out which airports and stuff. Okay, we are 60. Yeah, we're well below where we need to be, so we can ease that rate of descent right back. And there we go. And it need to be about 18,000 feet, and we're already at 14,000 feet. We've only got to drop down to 4,000 feet for glycope intercept. So we can ease that right back. There we go. Information wise, where are we currently? Well, we are in Portugal. I've done a Portuguese tour as well. It's just reminded me, actually, funnily enough. That was fun. That's where I first learnt to fly the Islander. I remember some of my early landings were absolutely horrendous. Since then I've improved drastically. It's half the fun learning a new aircraft and the way it handles and stuff. And as I say, I'm just loving the Porter at the moment. The Milviz Porter is an absolutely fantastic aircraft. Really enjoying it. Need to do some more flying with the Twin Otter, actually, having only done one flight so far. There's a big update for the Twin Otter I noticed the other day. So yeah, have to revisit the Twin Otter at some point. I'm not sure I can use it on Fly UK's Flying Club flights. I'm not sure it fits the requirements, so I may have to try and fit it in elsewhere. So yeah, instantly coming back to flight requests, you can choose pretty much anything. It doesn't have to be an airline flight. You can choose 2 local airfields anywhere in the world. Obviously, have a look at the aircraft I have available to me, and yeah, your best options is choose something in a Microsoft Flight Simulator if you want to get the best out of the visual scenery. P3D, obviously you get away from the orbix areas, and its the scenery is very sort of repetitive. It can be bland. X-plane, I don't have all the regions for the world. I don't really have any GA aircraft, plus I'm getting to the point where I will probably just not use that anymore, I'm sorry to say. At least, when I say not use it anymore, I mean not use X-plane 11 anymore. I may visit X-plane 12 at some point. That would be a wait and see. So yeah, apologies if you do like X-plane. For me, X-plane 11. I'll tell you what, there was a time actually when it was easily my main go-to sim. It flew great, handled great, looked you know, pretty reasonable. But yeah, something's gone wrong somewhere along the line, and I just have horrendous aliasing issues, some performance issues. Zebo doesn't seem to handle like it used to, which used to be really good. Seems to have, for whatever reason, I don't know whether it was my fault or whatever. It's just, to put it frankly, it's just not a sim I enjoy flying. That could well change with X-plane 12, so never say never. I'll certainly keep tabs on how that sim develops, and if I see some, you know, some potential and things that I like, then yeah, I may well visit it. So I hope it does well. I'm keen to see how it does, because at the end of the day, I'm first and foremost, you know, I don't have a sort of a rigid preference to one sim over the other. If something does something great, I'm happy to jump across. And you know, I'm not tied into anything, so to speak. So yeah, I've certainly been watching X-plane 12 with interest, that's for sure, to see what it brings to the flight sim table. Exciting times, actually, for flight simming, I have to say. You know, I think when I first really got into it, I mean, I've dabbled with it over the years. When I first really got into it, sort of back in 2016, 2017, obviously P3D was around then. I had FSX. I did kind of miss FSX. And there wasn't really much movement. Then of course X-plane 11 came along. P3D updated, and then, you know, slowly it started to. You had the ill-fated, what's the dovetail ones? Flight Sim World, yeah. I mean that when it first announced, seemed to have promise, and then ultimately that ended in, let's be frank, ended in disaster, really, didn't it? But now, with the advent with, Microsoft Flight Simulator coming back to the table, as I say, new X-Plane, it's exciting times. You feel that P3D is perhaps getting a little bit left behind, right? As you think about the features they talked about when P3D5 came, so you had contoured runways. Well, there's barely any. True sky clouds, well, I've tried true sky clouds and it needs work. It has a very, to be fair, I've not used them in a while, but when I did, it had a very alpha quality feel, like it was rushed out. So yeah, quite what the future holds for P3D in the sort of, should we say, casual sector, i.e. people sat in front of their computers at home, as opposed to on a sort of a full-scale simulator or flight learning environment. I don't know, but flight school learning environment, should I say. I don't know. It's I think Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane are just going to leave it in its dust, really, to be honest with you. Partly because of just performance. I still can't get great performance at LAX in P3D5. I can in this, so Okay, let's set the auto brake on. Let's send that on. That's enough waffling about stuff that I've waffled about several billion times over time. Let's get the local Q&H. So anyway, we're here in Lisbon. Just still the faintest. Excuse me. Could have left that on minus 1600, couldn't I? Descent. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Too much talking after my lunch. So yeah, this channel, certainly for the time being, is going to be very much Microsoft Flight Sim focused. Obviously, P3D as and where aircraft aren't available here. And then, yeah, as I say, in the case of X-Plane, it's very much wait and see. You see, we descended way too quickly, haven't we? Yes, we have rather. We're going to arrive a little bit early, which is interesting because we've had a headwind. Here is, I said, 3 hours 45 minutes, and it's like 3 hours 30 minutes. We'll be landing in about 10 minutes, so a few minutes early. Must have had a tailwind at some point during this flight then, I guess. Not on the ground spoilers. They're armed now. There we go. And that down a little bit. See, I can't really see anything. Quite a bit of cloud about. It's just as well I'm doing another flight into Lisbon in the daytime. So here we are approaching in the darkness anyway. Hopefully as we come into land it will light up a little bit better. Rain? Really? Yeah, really. Isolated shower of rain here. Interesting. Okay, we're slowing down now. Put the localizer on. Flaps. Wasn't expecting weather like this, to be honest with you. So Sky Dolly recording, that's the thing. Was not expecting a weather like this. Well, that's a real surprise. So as we come down into the beautiful city of Lisbon.
$2,500. $2,500.
Yeah, it's like very interesting weather. Vacate left after landing. Hit the hour marker and turn it off now. The rain is cleared. Stand by for autopilot. That's been checked. Right, stop scenery gazing. Look at what we're doing. Otherwise we'll screw this up. We're oscillating quite a bit with the
1,000.
approach, aren't we? Sort of pitching up and down. And curious. Stop. I'm going to stop looking at the scenery.
500. 400.
Yeah, that wind is...
300.
not doing themselves any
100 above.
favours. Did I put the lights on, didn't I?
Minimum.
Sure I did.
$100.
Yeah.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard.
I know. I just need to do that and it slows down, doesn't it? I'm going to even bother to press F2. What the hell is that all about? There we go. Welcome to Lisbon, folks. So we're down in Lisbon, Portuguese capital. I'll make our way across to the gates. We'll put the APU on. Give you the landing rate in a minute if it's going to be available. Let's just plunk ourselves down in here. Oops, maybe not. Didn't see it there. Never mind. Let's just stop here then. Jeez, makes it any worse for ourselves. Brakes. What is it up there? Right. So landing rates. 174, there we go. It's not bad, is it? And we'll now try and give you a replay. Stop.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
Oops, the buildings loaded in properly. The replay, that's a bit annoying. Hey, he's waiting for that to happen. What the hell? Right, well that's different. Hold on, bear with me. Not had that before. Might have to rewind the replay in a minute. Can't believe that. Only does it during the flight. No, interesting. A simulator. So yeah, apologies about that. Because like seeing the replay and the landings from the outside is like half the fun, really, isn't it? Dearie me. Just load back up, that'd be great. Come on, don't be shy. Thought something was wrong when the scenery wasn't loading in properly. And it's going to take the next 5 hours. Jeez, we'll get there in a minute. I'm going to give up in a minute, actually. Although it would be nice to have the replay, no? Oh, come on now. Great. Any time today, yeah? Give it another minute or two, and then if not, I'm just going to have to, unfortunately, quit out. Just all I want to do is switch the Bing data back on. Come on now. Don't give me this bull crap. There we go. Right. There we go. Pretty reasonable landing in the end, actually. I was worried it came down a bit too far, but seemed to be alright. So that brings us to the end of this flight. Really, it's a choice of flight. Thank you very much for choosing this one. I wish you a pleasant long browsing journey. I hope to welcome you back on board again in the very near future. So from here, in beautiful hilly Lisbon, keep wanting to call it somewhere else. Beautiful hilly Lisbon, leave you with some wing views of our arrival into the Portuguese capital. Yeah, switching the APU definitely helps with stopping the lights going off. Remember that one. Awesome. And all I need to do now is quickly rewind that back, go into the cockpit quickly, because I need
Don't
to
sink. Don't sink.
recycle
Don't
that.
sink. Don't sink.
And then we can have a wing view from the other side. We can see Lisbon beneath us there. That's better. Another bridge across there. Nice. There we go, hope you enjoyed that. Sorry the replay took a little while to load up, but yeah, it was worth it in the end. So, that's it from here in Lisbon. We'll see you on another flight again in the very near future. Farewell for now, folks.